Hiya, Cosmic Cat here. Hello, today's special reading is for all those birthdays on March 25th. If your birthday's on March 25th, this reading is definitely for you. However, if you were guided to this video, there could possibly be a message in here for you. You may want to check all of your signs, your rising and your moon sign as well, to see where Aries is for you in that chart. If you've been feeling anger, temperament, any sort of impatience, the need to lead, feeling Mars energy heavy or connecting with Mars, this also could imply that this reading is for you. However, the focus for the reading is definitely for you, birthday Aries. Birthday Aries, we know that you are a leader. You are committed. You can be blunt at times, impatient also. Excuse me. You're very direct and driven and passionate. That's that fire inside of you, that you have that passion. With Mars being you're also the first sign, so there's something to a beginning and a new. You always bring with you spring, which is very beautiful. It's the rebirth process from the death of winter. So that makes you a very strong leader as well. And sometimes that could give bluntness if we think of weather and how blunt that is, from moving from very low temps to freezing temps to also moving into higher temperatures. Spring brings about a various range of weather, right? If we think about it, I mean, springtime in our area could bring about tornadoes, which are sudden and they're fierce. And in one instance, just like that, the whole part of your world could just be an upheaval and you must start fresh and new. Sometimes that sounds very traumatic, and it very much could be a traumatic experience to have. At the same time, it could also lead you to a path that you had not known or come across if this hadn't happened to you. That is meant to be spoken to someone out there. I'm not sure who. Please leave a comment below, hit the like button, drop a tornado emoji if this resonates for you, because sometimes when we're in a whirlwind or when it feels like things are just spiraling out of control, remember, after a thunderstorm there's a rainbow. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. We have to go through dark times in order to reach that. Sometimes it can be very gentle, though. We can have that gentle process of, okay, we get to enjoy some of the spring weather before summer hits. Other times we feel like we don't even have a spring at all, because it goes from freezing temperatures to suddenly 90 degrees humidity, and there's no room for spring. So there's moments of that. There's a connection that spirit is wanting you to have, to relate yourself to seasons. Even if you don't live in an area where you have seasons, or if your season are just two seasons. Um, I recently visited El Salvador, and they say they have two seasons, rainy and hot. And it's either raining or it's really hot. So, if you're in that type of atmosphere, learn about learn about the other seasons that you don't have in your particular region at this time, because there's something significant about tornadoes, about knowing and learning what your life is like in comparison to what Mother Earth provides to the planet, and to parts of the planet, the four seasons, okay? So that's a deep message for you. We do have a candle going for you here, and we have a little birthday cupcake. Purple is your color of the day. You already feel that. Is purple your favorite color? Drop a purple heart, or let me know in the comments below how that resonates for you. Mars, we know it's also about physical energy, physical masculine energy too. So are you feeling powerful? Are you feeling like becoming a leader? Do you feel the sun, the power from the sun, which is a masculine energy as well. Mars also brings about temperament, which is talking about the patience, the impatience, if you felt that recently, and also sexuality and anger. So, how you are handling your anger at this time. Okay. So, I was guided to, this reading is different, guided by spirit. I was guided to use the Grateful Dead Tarot deck again today. And we're only going to pull 2 cards today. That was what was guided. And if that changes during this reading, then I will listen and we will do it as how it's seen fit. There's something about order and perfectionism that's coming into play as well. Something about limitations, not having limitations on yourself, Aries. Not putting yourself, compartmentalizing yourself in this box or isolating yourself. Who's isolating themselves out there? It's time for you to start to come out in whatever way first that feels good to you, whether it's coming out socially, on social media, whether it's coming out connecting with friends, neighbors, new people. It's time for you to start engaging and communicating with your community, or again with others somehow, some way, so that you can get some interaction going on. It's always important um, that we don't isolate ourselves. Isolation isn't intended for us at all. There's introspection that we have, but not isolation. There's always time to go in and inward and reflect, but that we know that that is a phase, that is a period, that is something that we are going through, because that's something that you want to do, right, Aries? It's not something that you stay or remain in. So once you've reached a point in your hermit phase, for hermit is what I'm picking up here, of being enlightened and finding your light after an ego death or dark night of the soul transition or period, then it's time to come back out, right? Yeah, that's for someone out there. Let me know if that is you. Okay, so also, before we blow the candle out at the end of the reading, if there's something that you would like to ask, a wish, please be thinking of that. Also, before I draw, I do want you to know that there is a higher energy here with us, source, creator, higher power, universe, God, whatever, however, whoever you call or look upon this energy, they are here with us. I happen to say source lately, but that always changes. Sometimes I say spirit. Archangel Michael and Raphael are here as well. Zadkiel may be present too. We'll find out if we get any rainbows in this reading. But Zadkiel is also one who I called upon him earlier for myself, but I'm not sure if he's still here with us or not, but he will let us know if he's here for others, because he is he's one that helps us on our soul perspective, is a rainbow of colors. So when you see rainbows and when you're trying to evolve and connect to the universe, it's you have questions about spiritual awakening, he's one to call upon for help. And actually, that's Raziel. So that's hilarious. Who I just described is actually Raziel. There's so many archangels, it's hard to keep them all in tune. Zadkiel is the peace bringer, spiritual abilities and guidance with gifts. So if you've been receiving gifts from spirit, coins, feathers, scents, some sort of clair has opened up for you. There's all kinds of ways. Numbers are a way. There's all kinds of ways that they connect to us that are very subtle ways, of course. But Zadkiel is, so someone here is looking for peace and your spiritual abilities, and you have what you're seeking guidance with your gifts. Many are on the path right now. March is extremely powerful. It's transformative. It's transforming this whole entire universe, actually, not just planet Earth, not just this Earth. This planet is a school, just like many planets are schools. So we are here to learn. We're also here for a purpose. Drinking plenty of water is something that is also asked of you at this time. Okay, let's get started and see what we have for your birthday, Aries. There's on average 367,000 births every day. So there's at least 367,000 that were born the same, following the guidance that I'm given here. Okay. All right. With that being said, there's at least that many of you that are capable or able to see this video. Feel free to share your story, say what happy things you are doing, happy about your birthday, perhaps even how old you are, where you're located, so others can also engage with you. You may find someone that is very close in vicinity you haven't ever met that shares the same birthday, and that could be significant for you. It's definitely a time for us to unite with like minds. Doesn't mean we don't allow others in. We definitely allow others. We allow others around us, as that's what leaders do, right, Aries? As a fiery, passionate leader, you are here also to help others. You want to help others, and you also want to be balanced with yourself. Let's see what we have for your cards today. The blues. The blues. So this is the Cumberland Blues song. I believe it may not be, but the Cumberland Blues song is the first one that came to mind for me. So if you'd like to listen to that song and see what it means to you, please do so. This is the number 12. 12 is a very significant number. There's 12 months in a year. 12 also singles goes to a single digit of 3. 3 being a triangle, the very first shape ever formed. Which brings me to Archangel Metatron. Perhaps maybe working with Archangel Metatron. Who's working with Archangel Metatron? Share in the comments below. The blues, this is about you being enlightened. Also, this is affirming that some of you are going through the dark night of the soul or ego death. Who's out there going through that right now? Some are on a spiritual journey. Some are on a spiritual journey. Oh, I think this is actually, now as I see the diamond and the gun, this is Dupree's diamond. Yeah. But I want to give you my interpretation before we go into the guidebook with this. So we have here a full moon, and this coming Saturday, we're going to have a new moon that is on a solar eclipse, which could be very significant for some of you. If you are already on your journey, on your path, and you've been doing ceremonies, you're well seasoned in the spiritual realm, something significant is going to happen to you this Saturday during this solar eclipse, okay? So allow yourself the time to process and to integrate what it is that you've been learning and working with your ego death and your dark night of the soul, so that you can be enlightened. You're enlightened here. Someone's traveled to a forest recently, connected with some trees, maybe even perhaps under the moonlight, or you're wanting to do so. This vine is loosely hanging on you. I'm going to hold this up because it's also important for you to allow any feelings that you feel arise, any sensations in the body, whether you get cold, you chills, warm, hot, surge of energy, heart palpitations, head pressure, able to breathe, breathing quickly, rapidly, holding your breath, any sort of um, movements or shudders. Just allow those to happen and know that they're happening for a reason. If you, even if you get like a pressure point of like a sharp pain somewhere, that's something that's wanting, that is a message of you needing to connect to that spot, or look some more information up, find out why that could be happening, and without fear, doing that without fear, because this is all you being enlightened. It's a very beautiful card. And amethyst was the card that or purple was the color I had been guided to share with you today, that Spirit wanted you to know. And this is an affirmation with the purple trees. Some, again, not limiting yourself. I believe I said that earlier before we pulled the card. And this is completely showing you being enlightened. So this could also mean some of you are doing a journey, or going on journeys like ayahuasca journeys, plant medicine, perhaps frog medicine, Cambo, Bufo, um, psilocybin, ketamine. There's so many different ways now to enter another realm or another dimension, but this is helping you to also let go and release things that you've held on for far too long. There is also a sense that this is a male and this is a female, and you in the middle are getting enlightening your conscious mind so that you can balance the conscious with the subconscious. The subconscious is where we repeat our stories and live by our illusions. It's where the majority live in the denser energies, until we decide to wake up on this spiritual journey and start to grab a hold of the reins. I'm feeling a night energy, like a moving forward with your idea of feeling like the clouds of gray wisdom. This is cloudiness, which is mental fogginess, but it can also symbolize a clarity coming through. The clouds are going to be lifted, and you're going to be wiser coming out of this. There's some wisdom coming in and a whole lot of love. You're getting very close with Mother Earth. So I do see I see a balance, excuse me, a balance of your masculine and feminine energy. And perhaps you went into this upside down state for that reason, to actually gain a better and clearer understanding, because you didn't know what that meant to you. If this is you, let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's anything that I can meditate upon for you, more than happy to do that. So let's go ahead and see what we have here for the blues, the hangman. Yeah, it's Dupree's Diamond Blues. So it's here in the guidebook, it's about attachment. Yeah, the need to let go. And remember when I started the reading and it was about the tornado and about losing everything. And that's all about also being detached from material objects, being detached from everything. You can still be in love. The most unconditional love you can give to anyone is to allow them to be their individual selves by being detached from that, but then having a unconditional love for them means you don't overcross their boundary to tell them they need to be a different way or a specific way. You allow them and hold space for them to be who they are in any way that they are, and you love them even more unconditionally for it. Okay, so detachment from things, from people, from what you feel that there's something that you have that you could never let go of. And it could possibly be a diamond ring. Someone's wearing a diamond ring that was gifted to them, or that you had, and you are that you had through a marriage, and you are not with that person anymore, or they have passed, and they're now in the spirit realm looking after you through the trees, through the stars, in the moon, in the eclipse. They're still with you, and it's time for you to actually pass that on, whether it be passed on to a family member or to someone else that spirit and you see fit for it to go to. It's time to actually let that go so that you can let go of the attachment that you have to the ring. They're saying to you, the lost love, the ones that are holding on to something from a past loved one, they're actually wanting you to let that go because they want you to know they are still with you. Okay, and that even though there's energy within that ring that shows a time from when you were with them, that is an old story, and it's time to write a new story. Okay, it's this is showing about paying dues, and this could also mean sacrifices. Are you sacrificing something right now? It's your birthday. What are you sacrificing on your birthday? Are you doing something for someone else and you'd rather be doing something for yourself because it's your birthday? Like people pleasing, unable to set healthy boundaries. This really doesn't sound like you, Aries, because you are a natural born leader. However, if you're just now starting a spiritual journey, and you're unaware of these behaviors, or you're aware of them but you feel fear because you feel like you don't want to stand up for yourself, this card is completely asking you to stand up for yourself. And it's good to do something nice for someone else on your birthday, as long as it's not taking and consuming your whole entire day, and that you are going to actually have some time to yourself. Spirit wants you to have time to yourself on your birthday, to write in your journal, write what feelings you're having on your birthday. Who are you? Write down who am I? And then write down all the things that you feel you are. Maybe perhaps make a game out of this. If you are having a birthday party for yourself, or someone else is having a birthday party for you, perhaps write down who you are, all of these qualities and traits, write them down, then tear make them into little bitty words, like separate each one and fold them up, put them in a hat of some kind, a hat representing your crown, representing your enlightenment. Put them in a jar, a hat. A hat is the first thing that's recommended. If you don't have a hat, use a bowl, use a jar, use whatever, something easy for people to pick one out of. And then allow people to pick, your friends, your family, who you're going to have your birthday party with, allow them to pick one of them out of the hat, and then describe what that means to you. For instance, you say, who am I? And the first thing you write down is leader. Okay, it's an easy example. You are Aries, you are meant to be a leader. You write down leader. Okay, so say your best friend grabs that one and gets the leader word out of the jar, the hat. So they say leader, okay? And there it is, now they get to describe how they see you as a leader. Okay, that's something that just came to mind. So it's an idea that Spirit provided to me right now for you to try. And another way that you can twist this, because again, the whole idea of this imagery is to not limit yourself. So you don't have to limit it to the idea that I'm throwing at you through Spirit. You can definitely do that way, and if it resonated, do it. Okay. However, if you'd rather do it a different way, as in, okay, now I'm going to provide a pen and paper, and I want everyone to sum me up in one word, This is something they're asking you to do in person when you're in the same, sharing the same space with someone. So just like as if, for instance, like this could represent your father, your mother, and here you are trying to be yourself. Okay? So this is something that is in a space. If you can and are able to do it in an outdoor space so that you are surrounded by Mother Earth, Gaia, then please do so. If not, please just do it within your home, or whoever's home you're at for this right now, for this game, this fun ceremony, and record it. Record it. Have someone, record it in your voice memos, record a video if you need to do that, but really just to have the voice so that this is something that you can have as a birthday gift for yourself to reflect upon also. Yeah, if you leading, you can lead the way by putting all of the things that you see yourself as. And don't be surprised if someone draws something about you that you had put out and put out into the universe that you see yourself as, but they're like, well, I actually see you this way. Allow that, okay? No blockages, no anger here. I mean, allow yourself to not be angry today. It's your birthday. And if you do feel anger, then allow it to flow. But ideally, this exercise is for you to get an idea and see others' perspective of how they see you. So if you want to do it with the blank paper and ask everyone to describe you in one word, and why and how, and give an example, something of that nature, then do it that way. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, we have the Seven of Bears, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Very earthy, very, very earthy here. And you are planting seeds. Again, we're going to have a new moon this Saturday. It is time to plant seeds. So there's a weary face here of tiredness. Tiredness now. Look at this card and see. Allow yourself to feel or see anything that you see coming up. So with this card, this is you being weary and tired of, you've been doing a lot of work. What are you working on? Are you a gardener? Are you an herbalist? Are you planting a lot of seeds physically in reality right now? Or are you an intuitive, a coach, a mentor, a medium, and you're planting a lot of seeds of intention within your mind when you're meditating through your dreams? How do you relate to this card? This is giving an idea that you're exhausted from doing the work in the fields, but you keep going because of these bears right here. These could signify your friends, your family, your children, your loved ones, those close to you. This could also represent loved ones, ancestors that are no longer here on this planet, some that maybe you've never even met before, but they are all here, and you're planting this for them, which means also you're planting it for spirit anyway, because birds, anything that flies is of spirit. So insects, birds, butterflies, pollinators are all part of this realm, and you also provide nourishment for them when you plant seeds and when you grow your own crops. When you grow sunflowers, I highly recommend you grow sunflowers this year. This is a very clear message. Sun is of masculine energy. We already said Mars is of the masculine energy. Aries, you have that dominant, powerful leader. Your card is the Emperor, okay? The Emperor is very blunt. The Emperor goes after what it wants. The Emperor will even fight for what it believes in, fight for their dream, fight for what they feel they deserve. So this is all something that resides in you. The tired, weary self is all the work you're putting in, but you have a smile on your face because you really enjoy doing it. There's also something I'm picking up here that you may have, if you are a medium, if you are a witch, you may have a entity around you, your personal space or your home, and it could be important for you to look into how you can cast spells around yourself for protection, a protection spell for yourself, a protection spell for your space in your yard. Because there are dark entities, some may say demonic entities, that try to keep you held back, held down. So sometimes we're tired because we're integrating a process, because we've done a lot of spiritual work. And even though you can't see the spiritual work, it's on the inside, it's moving your chakras around, it's moving your space. 7 chakras, we have 7 main chakras that are the focal point in our lives. Also, I wasn't quite sure why I was looking up the number 7 earlier, because we know that 7 is profound, but I wanted to gain clarity on what a reason is as to why, why the number 7 is so important to us. I mean, we know it's said that. So some of the things that I received was that 7 is actually significance across the whole world. Let that soak in. It's not just Christianity or Judaism. It's the whole entire world sees the number 7 as spiritual, sees it as 7 days of creation, 7 deadly sins, the 7 heavens in various traditions. There's so many different ways that 7 appears as 7 days of a rebirth. It's also, you know, major events come in a cycle of 7 in Islam. In Hinduism, 7 is associated with the cycles and completion. 7 vows are taken during weddings. There's 7 steps so in Buddhism, Buddha takes 7 steps upon his birth, and his mother Maya dying 7 days after his birth. So we also know 7 is a prime number. That means it's only divisible by 1 in itself, which does lead into, mathematicians. It's also said to be lucky, magical, and hold a spiritual power with us. So 7 is definitely biblical, as far as it's used a lot in the book of Revelations and divine judgment. So it's very 7 is a very powerful number. So it's important, if you see the number 7 today on anything, whether you see it multiplied as a master number or just a number, look that up, look up the meaning, and or re-listen to this right here and find out what that means. So I am guided to share with you the angel numbers, what 7 says in here. You're on the right path. Keep up the good work. That's what it's meant to do. So even though you're tired, really, I feel like I didn't really feel like I had to say that to you. Well, actually, I did say it to you, because I said, oh, you're tired and weary, but you do have a smile on your face, and you're doing this not just for yourself, but for the whole entire world. Think about that, especially your world on your birthday. Maybe you'll get some seeds today from someone. So this is your reading today, too. There's something about balance and unity, yin and yang, and balancing the polarities, okay? Your masculine and your feminine. If you feel you're having too much of your masculine, it's time to allow some feminine energy in. That being said by the moon, and also by being close to the earth. This is the message I have for you today, birthday Aries. Now, let's blow this candle out for you, okay? You ready to make your wish? Ready to make your wish? Okay. 3, 2, 1. As the smoke rises, may all your wishes and dreams come true. Have a cosmic day and tonight, meow.